Hack, the first of our bi-weekly catch-ups. I'm not always be in front of the camera or on Zoom. Just, we're going to touch on a lot of things. Obviously, it's been a while really since we had a proper catch-up. Just talk us through, the first few months really of your time here at Dulwich. I suppose it's probably been quite difficult.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I came in a difficult period for the football club, and it was difficult for me too. I had a mother who had terminal cancer, but the club was immediately understanding of the situation. When I did say if it was to worsen, I would have to go back, which they let me do. We came very, very close last season to staying up. We went down by 1 goal. In my short time at the end of last season, we picked up some valuable points, but we just couldn't get over the line. And we went down by a goal, and it was then where I made a conscious decision to make sure I'd stay and be a part of a great football club, which I believe is.
How easy was that decision to stay?
Yeah, for me it was, because I could see the emotion in most people. Obviously, I came here for the last game of the season, missing 2, and you could see how much it meant to certain people, or to everybody really. But I have to say, the people that at the helm, the chairman, the secretary, the people that all work at the football club are all fantastic, all good people. And the team is just not the team on the pitch. In my opinion, I've always stated this, the team is the people all around the stadium that work day in, day out to provide an opportunity for the boys to play on a Saturday, be that the person that's selling the tickets in the office, the logistics man, the groundsman, the chairman, everybody, and that's the team. So when the team wins, everybody wins, and they've all been fantastic, and straight away I felt at home. And I think, if anyone said to you, 8 months ago you would be in the National League and now you're going to be in the Ryman Premier League, people would look at you and think you're crazy. But this is a fantastic opportunity to start something at a football club that I think needed a little bit of a change.
We'll move on then to the summer. It was a summer of heavy recruitment. How difficult was that, chasing targets and stuff like that? Talk us through summer from your eyes.
My missus thought I was crazy. She actually said to me, do you understand what you're doing? I said, yeah, I've been doing this job over 20 years now. I think from my own personal point of view, in seeing how it was last season, that we needed a clean sweep. And I thought it was the best interest of the football club to do that. And no, that's not a detriment to the players that were here last season, but I thought it was the best thing, clean sweep, start again, which we've done. Recruitment is a big part of anyone's industry, and especially in ours. And, we took our time due diligently doing what we thought was the right thing at the time, within the remit the club had sent us to work within, and that's what we did. And we recruited the players that we thought would be the best for the club at the time.
And obviously we've touched on it, and injuries have plagued us really from the start of pre-season all the way up to now. Just talk us through how difficult that's been.
It's been very, very tough. Pre-season we had like 12 to 13 injuries, and we missed some key players. After the first game we had Mark Ricketts, Riley Scott, Luke Winadio out. Then we had concussion injury to Alfie Allen pre-season, and then we had one with Jerry Jerby. So it's start, stop, never been able to put out a settled team. And then Raven Constable, who we signed with Jack Ruddy, broke his hand, so he was not available. Plus he wasn't available for the first 4 games because he had a suspension hanging over him. So it has been tough to get everything into place and to get going, because really what you'd like to do is keep a settled team as much as you can. But for us, we had so many injuries and it was hampering us that, I was fortunate enough to bring in some recruitments, and that's what I did within the remit that the club had sent me.
Well, you've touched on goalkeepers there. Obviously, that's a point that supporters have mentioned quite a lot. Obviously, we've got Jack, Raven, Will, and Preston on the books now. What's the deal with goalkeepers? Obviously, I know Raven's obviously had his injury.
Obviously, Raven's still injured. He hasn't been able to kick a ball for us. He missed the first 4 games through suspension, and then he got injured in training. He fractured one of his fingers, and he's slowly coming back now. He's still not ready. Jack Ruddy's a great lad. He's uprooted and he's come from Scotland. Football being football, decisions have to be made sometimes, and sometimes managers make decisions based on what they see And I thought it might be the right time to bring in some goalkeepers. You know, I brought in Preston back. He's the club legend. You know, he will put a smile on people's faces. He's a man, he's a leader, he's bright, he's bold. I thought it was the right time. And with Will Larkin, he was on the books at Peterborough, and he was training at Hull when we brought him in. So it's not personal, this is business. I work for the football club. I try and make decisions based on what I purely think are footballing matters. And, you know, Jack's done well, but for me, I had to bring other people to try and do that. Now, you know, in this industry, you're always going to have highs and lows with players and bits and pieces. But he's done nothing wrong. But I just thought it was time for me to bring in somebody else that I think could step in and be the number one for the club.
Moving on and keeping up with the squad, obviously it's highly, I suppose, spoken about on the forums and on social media that we have a very big squad at the minute. Yep. Just talk us through that. Obviously, you've mentioned there 4 goalkeepers. I imagine we're not going to have 4 goalkeepers for the rest of the season, but talk us through that one.
But, you know, from now on, we'll keep the supporters updated, and I'll let them know what's going on. Finley Lovett has moved on to pastures new. You know, we wish him all the best. He's a young lad that came here from Bromley. You know, and he's a good lad, good player, but he couldn't get the minutes that he wanted, so he's moved on. Paul Shalabar's another one. He was a work in progress. He was at Leatherhead last year, but all these guys have to be proved. You know, have to prove themselves to me or to the club or to be better than what we've got. And he's actually going to be moving on. And the other one is Marvel Akapika that we brought in at a short space of time, but he's actually moved on as well. So we wish them all the best. They did their best for the football club. But again, football being football, managers have to make decisions. So that's 3 players that have moved on. And obviously, behind the scenes, every manager up and down the country is working diligently and hard to make sure that they get value for money and they get the right player. You know, and I brought in over 20, and I always work with about 20, 24 squad. I've got a little bit bigger this year because I've got 4 goalkeepers and bits and pieces. But that's the way it should be done, I believe, and we found that out at the start of the season when we had so many injuries. You know, young Alfie Allen was doing ever so well pre-season, and he had concussion. Jerry Jerby got concussion. Mark Ricketts was out. Yeah. Anthony Jeffries, who's one of our influential players, he's still out. Adrian Clifton didn't start the season. You know, it all played a part in what was going on, but hopefully we can get everything rocking and rolling and get a settled team.
I suppose then we're glad to obviously heading out to training, and you'll be out there hopefully pretty soon. Yeah. Do you want to provide an update on the training schedule? I know there's going to be some slight adaptations to that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was quite an open debate at the start of the season, and the club were unbelievably sort of supportive of what I wanted to do. You know, we had to make a decision with my coaching staff. Would we get value for money if we were going to go 3 mornings a week or 2 nights? I chose, along with my coaching staff, with the backing of the football club, that we would go 2 nights because we thought we'd get the more experienced players, which we did. But I think there's an opportunity for us now that we've got so many up-and-coming youngsters coming through that we can maybe go on a Monday morning to add 1 more session, which would be good for us. But I just want to point out this, that in all the signings that I've made, it was always for the best interest of the football club. Some have worked out, some are work in progress, some are youngsters that are coming through, some are experienced. It's going to take a little bit more time than what I thought, but I can assure you everybody's trying to pull in the right direction.
You've spoken to me plenty of times about being here for the long run. You very much see yourself at home here. And
yeah.
How I suppose, delighted you to find a club where you can really see yourself managing it for the next decade or so?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a fantastic opportunity. You know, on a Tuesday night, I used to come here and watch Dulwich play for years, and I used to think to myself, God, this is a great place, great support. And I know a lot of people give our supporters support, God knows why, because I can tell you now that 99.9% of our supporters, win, lose or draw, are always behind the team. And we are privileged and lucky to have such a fan base. And for me, that is vitally important, and just to let them know that, you know, there's been a couple of occasions this season where we've travelled away from home and I haven't gone over and clapped them like I should have. That's because of frustration, nothing else. I appreciate everything they do for the club. They are unbelievably fantastic. I've said it before, they're one, you know, some of the best supporters up and down the pyramid, and long may that continue.
obviously, we've announced yesterday a fan forum, but you're always pretty open for fans to come and chat to you.
The fans
after
can,
games, aren't you?
I do come up in the bar, win, lose or draw. They're more than welcome to come and see me in the office. It's an open office. They can knock on my door, come and have a cup of tea. You know, they can sit and see how I do it. We work very, very hard to make sure that no stone is unturned. But at the moment, it seems like it's not the case. I can assure you, everyone is working hard. Sometimes when you sign so many players in one go, it may take a little bit longer. But there's been so many factors to why we haven't hit the ground running, with injuries and suspensions and sometimes combinations. But, you know, we will get there slowly, and I can see myself being here, you know, as long as the club want me to be here, because it's not often that you find somewhere where you can call home, and it's not often somewhere where you find yourself comfortable. The people behind the scenes are unbelievable. I have a great working relationship with the Secretary, Joe Hickey, whose knowledge of football is very good. He's always at hand, 24 hours a day. The Chairman, Glenn Casper, unbelievable. You know, they've all made me feel so welcome, and I just feel part of something. You know, this club, hopefully soon we'll have a new stadium. This club will have a new home. It's only around the corner. Everything is set for that, and I want to be the team to lead it there.
Perfect. Hakan, we'll leave it there, and hopefully it's the first of our fortnightly catch-ups. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.